ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, the NASCAR Cup Series Coke Zero Sugar 400 from Daytona International Raceway. 400 miles, 160 laps, 3 stages, 35, 60, and 65. Of the last 14 Coke Zero Sugar 400s, 12 of them have not gone the scheduled distance. 2 of those were rain shortened, 10 of those went to overtime. 160 laps is what the race is scheduled to be. The max we've done is 170, so that's got to go in the crew chief's mind when we're planning pit strategy. What if we go to 2-3 restarts here? We're going to have enough fuel. So there are so many variables in this race. We found out today that Busch and 2311 have withdrawn their medical exemption for Kurt, so he will not be in the 2022 playoffs. First and foremost, we want Kurt to be healthy. We want Kurt to come back when he can. His health is more important than racing. What that does do, it does open up now another playoff spot. So Martin Truex Jr. will be in the playoffs as of right now, barring any new winners or anything. But yeah, first and foremost, Kurt needs to get healthy. We know what Dale Jr. went through. We know, we kind of know what that was multiple years ago. We don't know for sure what Kurt's going through. We know from 2311, he's been in the war room during the races. He's been in the competition meetings. He's given pointers out there for Bubba Wallace and for Ty Gibbs. So it's really cool to see that he's still involved. It's got to kill him not to be in the playoffs. I mean, 10 straight years he would have been in the playoffs. But you know what? Health is more important. So good luck to him. My advice would be sit out the rest of the year. Don't even do anything until the off season. Get some NASCAR proof testing in the off season. Make sure you're good to go and just come back next year. There's no reason to take a chance at this point. So we got 16 drivers. 14 are locked in with wins. Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr. We know at least one will be in the playoffs. So right now it's Ryan Blaney. Truex is in unless we have a new winner. Then Truex is out unless he outpoints Ryan Blaney. So right now, if the playoffs began this week, we got Chase Elliott with 25 bonus points, which goes to 40 because it was 15 for regular season. Ross Chastain, currently at 15, will go to 25. Logano 14, Larson 13, Byron 13, Denny Hamlin 13, Reddick 12, Kevin Harvick 10, Chase Briscoe 9. 10th in points right now would be, with 7 playoff points, Martin Truex Jr. because he's highest in points. And so he would get a 1 additional playoff point for being 10th in points. And then 11th would be Christopher Bell, 12th Daniel Suarez, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Austin Cindric, and Ryan Blaney. Now, we got Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Justin Haley, Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cole Custer, Brad Keselowski, Harrison Burton, Ty Dillon, Tyler Gilliland. They are all eligible. If anybody in that group wins, they're in. Whomever is lowest in points between Martin Truex Jr. and Ryan Blaney are out. Remember, Michael McDowell and Brad Keselowski had that negative 10 points right now in playoff points, the 10-point playoff penalty earlier in the year. So that's going to, they would start, they get 5 points for the win, they would start -5. So we could technically this year, because we know at least one non-winner is going to be in it, technically this year we could have a non-winner win the championship. Yes, Ryan Blaney could go, let's use Ryan Blaney for instance, he could point his way to Phoenix, finish second, say Chase Briscoe doesn't make the Final Four and Chase Briscoe wins Phoenix like he did in the spring. Ryan Blaney finished second. Ryan Blaney would be your 2022 champion without a win. Ha, how about that? That would be fucking nuts. Alright, we got a lot to go over here. So, the last 10 races at the super speedways, Daytona and Talladega. I am not counting Atlanta as a super speedway. Daytona, Talladega, the last 10. Ryan Blaney, 2 wins, 10.4 average finish. He is defending champion of this race. Bubba Wallace, 11.6 with a win. Denny Hamlin, 12.1 with 2 wins. Austin Cindric, 12.3 with a win. Kevin Harvick, 12.6. Chase Elliott, 13.1. Austin Dillon, 15.4. Michael McDowell, 15.7 and a win. Brad Keselowski, 16.4 and a win. Just the last 5 races at Daytona. Just this race and then the Daytona 500. Chase Elliott in the last 5 at Daytona averaged 7.8. Austin Cindric 8.0 with a win. Bubba Wallace 8.2 with back-to-back second place finishes. He was second in this race last year and he was second in the 500. Ryan Blaney 8.6 with a win. Denny Hamlin 11.8 with a win. Chase Briscoe 14.3. Harvick 14.8. Michael McDowell 15.0 with a win. Austin Dillon 16.7. Just with the next gen car at the 2 super speedways, Daytona, Talladega in 2022. Kyle Busch 4.5 average finish. Ryan Blaney 7.5, Michael McDowell 7.5, Chase Elliott 8.5, Eric Almirola 9.0, Martin Truex Jr. 9.0, Bubba Wallace 9.5, Austin Cindric 11.0 and a win. Now, you look at of the drivers that have the opportunity to win a race, to make the playoffs. Those 13 drivers, 6 of them have won this particular race before. 2021, Ryan Blaney. He's in the playoffs for the, I wouldn't say no matter what. He has a 25 point lead over Martin Truex Jr. So if he runs into a problem and Truex can win both stages like Truex did at the 500, then you may be looking at the points there with one of those 2, and then if there is a new winner. Justin Haley in 2019, Eric Jones 2018, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 2017, Brad Keselowski 2016, Eric Almirola in 2014. 2 former Daytona 500 winners have a chance to link it. Michael McDowell and in 2021 and Austin Dillon in 2018. Any of those drivers win, they're in for sure, and then we got to worry about points between Truex and Blaney. Now, before the news today with Kurt Busch, I was going to pick Ryan Blaney to win this. Now, because of the news with Kurt Busch, I don't think Ryan Blaney has to do a walk-off. Ryan Blaney has another option to make the playoffs. He's just got to finish above, outpoint Martin Truex Jr. So my 4 picks to win the Coke Zero Sugar 400. Neither of these 4 have won a race in 2022. All 4 of these drivers have won a race before. And 3 of the 4 have won at Daytona. Eric Jones in the 43. Seems like on the super speedways he's up front a lot. He's able to draft his way up there. At California 2-mile track, he was up front. At Michigan, he ran well, led some laps. Michael McDowell, former Daytona 500 winner. So yeah, I think McDowell would be able to get up there and challenge for the victory. Brad Keselowski, I know he won his 150 qualifier, but he also ran well at the 500. He's run down the super speedway races. He's ran well of late as well. He's digging himself out of a hole. My 4th and final pick, seems like it's the favorite right now, Bubba Wallace. The way he's ran at Daytona, I want that driver to just basically, bottom of the 9th, walk off into the playoffs. One of these drivers that are eligible. It could be any of them: Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Justin Haley, Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cole Custer, Brad Keselowski, Harrison Burton, Ty Dillon, Todd Gilliland. Any of them can win, and I'd be fine with it. And then stay tuned for the playoff preview next week. Now, a couple things this week I want to discuss from the week before at Watkins Glen. Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. My perspective of that, I called in the NASCAR Satellite Radio and said this. Rob from Missouri with me. If you rewatch that, AJ Allmendinger got into the back of Kyle Larson. We know what bump drafting does on the intermediate tracks. We know what bump drafting does in super speedways. I think when AJ got into the back of him, I think it gave him a bump. It got Larson in the corner a little hotter than he expected. He locked him up. We all seen the tire smoke. He washed up the track a little bit, and in his saying, he used up his teammate. If you look at that 9 car, there was no scratches. He didn't get into him. If he did it, maybe tired a tire. He rubbed the Goodyear off the tire. That's about it. But like Chase said, Chase was like, I shouldn't have put myself in that position. I'm mad at myself because I put myself in that position. And then later on in that lap, he did the same thing to Tyler Reddick. And he went over to Reddick and apologized. And so I don't think Mr. H and Jeff Gordon went running out there to tell him to hush, shut up, keep your mouth shut. I think it was more of, are you okay? You're pretty upset on the radio. Why are you so upset? He was mad at himself because, number one, he put himself in that position. And number two, he literally did the same thing to Tyler Reddick. I think people made a mound out of a molehill in this. I think it blew up on XM satellite radio for no reason. I think we've seen teammates do, race hard together before. We've seen teammates, Logano and Keselowski took one another out. 21 Daytona 500, Malcolm Gladwell won. And in 22, Blaney and Austin Cindric ran each other tight. Blaney got in the wall. And instead of basically turning out and taking his teammate out and losing them both, he just rode the wall. So, I mean, teammates going to do that. It happens. Just don't take each other out. So, as long as somebody wins, it doesn't matter, I know there was some late calls on Dave Moody's show, XM on Speedway, Wednesday night, that I didn't have time to call in and bitch about. One of them was the guy was calling him Wonder Boy or Golden Boy, and Dave was getting mad at him. And just people, I mean, they're teammates. And some guys like, well, there shouldn't be teammates. Really? You want single car? No. There's been teammates going back to 1950 in the 50s. Carl Kiekaver had a 4-car, 5-car team back in the 50s. Of course, there was a black eye on the sport because he manipulated stuff and cheated, and basically Bill France Sr. told him either you quit cheating or you get out, and he got out. So what does that tell you? But anyway, it's not like that anymore. But all right. But yeah, so I don't think it was anything myself personally. But the 151st race at Daytona International Speedway for the NASCAR Cup Series, the Coke Zero Sugar 400, the 4 picks, all 4 will be walk-off playoffs. Eric Jones, Bubba Wallace, Michael McDowell, and Brad Keselowski. Stay tuned for this week for the playoff preview show. And if you haven't already watched it, go back and look at the playoff prediction show that I did first of the year. See how accurate I am. I need Eric Jones to get in the playoffs. So let me see if I can find that real quick here. See how accurate I was with that based on what we know right now. Alright. So, NASCAR Cup Series playoff prediction. Kyle Larson, yep. Chase Elliott, yep. William Byron, Alex Bowman, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, maybe. Logano, Keselowski, I had him in. So there's 1. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch. Right now, Truex is in. Christopher Bell, I had Bubba Wallace in. Kurt Busch, Tyler Reddick, and Eric Jones. So right now, there's 3 that I had in that aren't in for sure. Keselowski, Eric Jones, and Bubba. And then non-playoff teams that I had running well: Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric, Buescher, Suarez, Chastain, Justin Haley, and Chase Briscoe, and 3 of those won. Wow. Rookie of the year, I picked Austin Cindric. That's funny. But yeah, so I mean, right now we're looking at about 13, maybe 14 if we get a surprise winner, so that's kind of cool. Alright, we'll do more of that in the playoff preview. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.